Today's topic is what happens after you have a conversation with God or the multiverse or the spiritual leader that you resonate with. Like for me, it's Kuan Yin, or for some people, it might be Jesus, Buddha. They're all one and the same. And so if you watched my recent video, I think yesterday is when I shared that I had a conversation with God. And I reflected and I talked about my frustrations. And I talked, what's that, Ava? That's Austin's?
Okay.
Oh. I reflected about my frustrations, my desires. Here you go. Go play. Okay, go play. We were at Target and we got a bag of Easter eggs, and she's carrying 2 baskets of Easter eggs. They're empty. It was for school, but she thinks they're hers. So we opened the bag and we have a pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern trick-or-treating bag full of eggs, and the other one's an Easter egg, Easter basket. And of course, you had to split it evenly between the 2 kids so they have a fit. Yeah, so yesterday I shared with you that I had a conversation with God, and aka the multiverse, and I committed to moving forward with the next steps of my life and my career. And I said that I would write more, and I talked about how like I was frustrated with my my weight and this little fat I have around my belly. And when I shared all those things, today all of a sudden I was so aware of what I was doing. Like I said that I was going to sit down and write, so I made an effort to always go back and sit down and write. I would do something, I'd go back and sit down and write. I'd do something, I'd go back and sit down and write. And then I said that I wasn't thrilled about the fat around my belly, so I knew that today there was going to be exercise. So I got in the treadmill and exercised a little bit, and I started getting a little bit of cramping, and so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just walk or take it easy or something. But you know, the effort, the discipline is there. And I said that I would be intentional about, you know, I said I wasn't thrilled with my weight, and so I knew it was a combination of my mindset and the food I was eating and my exercise. And so the exercise part, you know, I addressed, and then the food thing, like when I was eating food, I was like evaluating if I was hungry, if this food was aligned with my goals. And it's funny because, you know, this is nothing new. Like, you know, mindful eating and exercising every day and committing and doing what you said you would do. But when you actually sit down and you have like a heartfelt conversation with the multiverse or Heavenly Father or God, like you all of a sudden have a lot of clarity, and there's a lot of integrity with following through with what you said you would do. Like when you talked about whatever you talked about, you actually look at it very closely and you examine your actions and you wonder if it's aligned with what you talked about, and all of a sudden you kind of slow down. You slow down and you're very mindful, and there's a lot of clarity. There's less chatter. It's just more like, do I desire to eat this? Do I only want a bite of cake? You know, instead of like gorging or not eating when you're hungry. Do I feel full? Do I feel bloated? Did I get my vegetables in? Like, it was such a different way of being. So I highly recommend it. So if you haven't already sat down to have a conversation with the multiverse, aka our Heavenly Father, aka God, sit down. Ideally at a window or outside or something where you feel like you're kind of connected to heaven and earth, and pour your heart out and really share what there is to share. And then have that really deep, powerful conversations. Ask those questions, get your answers, get your clarity, get your resolutions, get your mindset and your emotions in order after the conversation. And then tomorrow, the day after, like, look at what happened. See how you start changing your actions, your mindset, your thinking. Like, I was so present, and I have so much clarity, and I'm looking at life through a different pair of lens. I don't know. I don't know what to say other than try it and see what you think. So that's all I had to share today. It is 10:21. We're going to lose an hour. So it's time to go to bed. I have much work to do. I have soul work to do. And I also want to share with you that I'm a life coach. I'm a life coach. I have a coaching practice called Soul, S-O-U-L-E, S-O-U-L, Elevated Life. Soul Elevated Life. And if you're looking to live a deeply fulfilling, infinitely powerful, profoundly meaningful, transformed life, then I'm here to tell you, you already have everything you need within you. Like, you are a manifestation of the multiverse. You are a child of God. You are made in the likeness of God, as Megan said to Lauren. So, of course, you have the power to create the life that you desire to live that is aligned with your soul's expansion and growth. The thing is, you may not know how to access all your power. And so that's what I do as a life coach. I help you access all your power to live a deeply meaningful, fulfilling, infinitely powerful life. You get to create the life that you desire to live. You get to live into, you get to declare it into existence. You get to call forth all the help and all the people in your life to make it meaningful and powerful. And I know you're here to do big things. I know it. And I'm here to take a stand for you and provide the space for you to be really your best self, your most actualized self, your transformed self, you know, one where you're really proud of to leave when it's time to go. Like, if you could look at your last day on this planet and think of how grateful you are, and you think of what a wonderful life you've lived, then that is a life that you can call that was worth living, right? And if you don't know how to access it, you don't know how to do it, you don't know where to begin, then I highly recommend you hire a life coach in your life. And if you didn't know, I'm a life coach, but if I don't resonate with you, find someone who does. And once I hired a life coach in my life has not been the same. I call it hiring someone to run the ski lift machine for you. And your job is to get in line and get your ass into the ski lift chair. And the ski lift will take you up to the top of the mountain. And then when you get off the ski lift, there is only thing left to do. There's only one thing left to do, and that is to figure out a way to get down to the bottom of the mountain. So the key is, many of us don't know how to get in line or get onto the ski lift chair. And a big portion of it is hiring a life coach to help you get there and guide you there. Like, I don't know how long I would have taken to actually have like a deep, profound conversation with God if my life coach didn't say, hey, have you considered this is what you could possibly do? And my life has transformed overnight. The way I look at my life is so different because I had a conversation with God. So you never know. Like, so many things open for you when you hire a life coach in your life. And I could not share with you enough the power of having a life coach in your life. It's just profound, enlightening and profound. Yes, it also helps to have a meditation practice, helps to have a journaling practice, it helps to write each day, it helps for you to process your emotions, it helps to be very mindful, it helps for you to be present, it helps for you to have a plant-based diet, it helps for you to have compassion and ruthlessness and relentlessness to really get your answers, to understand like your purpose and what you came to do. Yes, all of that. Yes, a godless life is a lifeless life. See, Tim says, I resisted religion for so long. And I was just calling myself spiritual. And my mom always said, she's so thankful that God provides this or God provides that. And I grew up in a Christian church and all that stuff, but I never felt like that was the path that resonated with me. And then I started getting to meditation, and I found, or I've always found, I guess I've always known, Kuan Yin, who's the goddess of love and compassion. And all this is just around spirituality. And why is it that when you work for a cause that's bigger than yourself, like you're so moved and you're so, like you live such a powerful life? And And it's funny because we might have like this preconceived notion of like what a fire and brimstone God is like, and then we might relabel that force, that energy, the magnificence of it all. We might call it the multiverse or the universe or our Heavenly Father or the cosmos or, you know, Mother Nature. Like, we call it so many different things, but it's all one and the same. And it took me to be almost in my 40s to come to this conclusion, like, it's all one and the same. And so Tim is on point when he says a godless life is a lifeless life, because you're denying your divinity, you're denying who you are. Like, if you were just to pretend that you are a manifestation of the multiverse, if you were to pretend that you are made in the image of God, if you were to pretend that you are a child of God, and then to deny your divinity, to deny who you truly are, is to deny your origin, right? So it makes zero sense. And it just took me years of like being sad and lost and separate and stuff to really get how important everything is, to understand connectedness and oneness and our true power. We are so powerful, we're so magnificent, and we just don't realize it. We really don't. We think we're just this human on this earth, but the real truth is we are part of this huge soul body. We are a soul that is dragging this human body around on this platform called Earth, and we came to experience all we came to experience. Until we actually make that realization and that connection is before we start living a deeply fulfilling life, because we start recognizing who we truly are. And when you recognize your magnificence, you recognize like your divinity, you recognize your truth, you recognize the power of your soul and what you came here to do, is when you start truly coming alive and you really start living. So I highly recommend it. Sit down, have a conversation with the multiverse, have a conversation with God, have a conversation with our Heavenly Father, have a conversation with the spiritual master that truly resonates with you, and see what there is to see, and see what comes of it, and see the kind of life you start living into. And also, hire a life coach. Hire a life coach in your life. And if you don't have one, reach out to me, or keep looking for one until you find one that resonates with you. But I truly, deeply, sincerely recommend it. So reach out to me. I don't care how you get to me, just get to me. You can shoot me an email, you can call me, you can text me, you can send me a message through Instagram, through Facebook, whatever your choice is. I have a website, I have a YouTube channel, I have many platforms to preserve my message and to provide that platform for my message to reach millions, so that you can keep pouring love into you every single day, so you can count on me to come on live every day and share myself with you. Other than that, I send you love, light, profound clarity, and infinite possibility to live the life you desire to live, the life that you choose to create, that is aligned with your soul's expansion and your soul's growth. Here's you living a soul elevated life, and I will see you tomorrow.